Hey everybody, TenebrisTenshi here. How you guys doing this day, evening, morning, whenever the heck you guys happen to be seeing this? It's been a long time coming for me to actually take a look at this video, if only just because this was the first thing to kind of get me off my butt, and that's when I started streaming again a little bit. Tencho kicked me over the finish line to really get going, but honestly, Callie was the first one to make me go like, yeah, no, there's not really any excuse. So yeah, we're gonna be taking a look at "Off with Their Heads," released by Calliope back in January 31st. Jeez, this is a long time in coming. And we'll take a look at the other songs as they come along. So we'll be taking a look at Red a little bit later, and as I mentioned on other videos, we'll be taking a look at Gura's Reflect as well. But for now, right this second, we're taking a look at "Off with Their Heads." So yeah, as I said, this thing came out in January, so this thing's a long time in coming to be taking a look at. We're gonna have the subtitles on because sometimes the number one, the singing beat sometimes gets accounted for, and what's in the background, I kind of get just kind of blinded to see what the heck happens there. But let's take a look at "Off with Their Heads." We're gonna take a look at just this first refrain first in its entirety, and then we'll go back and visit that, and then go piece by piece moving forward. Because I'm a little OCD and I want to let things finish before I go and talk about it and play out. Let's take a look-sees. All right, we'll hold it there. All right. 25 seconds and I'm already jamming to it again. Okay, so we're starting off, obviously, with some awesome stuff. You know, straight up just her lore. She's a Reaper, of course. Dead beats. All my guys, swing now, grab the sides, show them how, just as much as I show. You guys are going to show too. I know I stopped a little bit earlier, but there's a couple things real quick that I want to... Oh, too fast. So, we've got, you know, welcome to the Macro Town, waiting till the fight calls. So, if you have any knowledge of how this stuff works, right? If you have any idea that, of the ways this thing works, where you gain popularity, etc. When you're sitting at the top, if everything's fine, all you're doing is waiting for that fight to start. Because somebody's going to complain about the fact that you either had it easy or this or that, or maybe you might find some way to take you down. In either case, this first refrain is a little not what inspired me as much, but that's, or I should say, the refrains aren't what inspired me, because not currently anywhere near the top, but that's fine. Doesn't make a difference to me. I'm not going to shoot somebody who worked their ass off to get all the way up there. Anyway. I hope you're ready to be swinging till the night falls. So basically, you know, work it out. Just keep going. Keep pushing. It's the reason why, you know, I say that this is part of the reason it inspired me a bit. But I just felt like I wasn't putting out content I was happy with. But this is where Tencho comes in with her song. But I should actually go revisit it because the audio of that was so scuff. I might even just do that. But for now, let's stay here. You know, the work. Put in the work. Are you ready to be swinging till the night falls? Are you a slave and an entertainer till the fun dies? Again, this one actually talks to me a little bit more because of the fact of, hey, you know, hey, sometimes this stuff isn't fun anymore. And granted, at that point, maybe you should be taking a break, but I overshot that. It was getting to the point where it was not just taking that break. It was more than that. It was, oh, this is taking a break and not coming back. This is not, you know, trying to make things fun again. It's, yeah, basically, doesn't matter. If you're an entertainer, you're going to do it because it is fun or because it's worth it. Same thing. Sing to the sunrise. Wait a second. Only because I think this is because of the faster pace. That's something that I always overlook. The flame that faintly wavers. Candle in the wind. I'm gonna reference that song. Basically, you know that you're gonna be pushed around by stains the brain with flavor. That's a little bit above me, I think. Although, as far as inspiration, right? Staining your brain with a little bit of inspiration for pain that you complain about, then learn to say the kind of pain that you complain about. It's like, fuck, why is it so hard? Why am I pushing so much? Why am I doing so much work just to get content out or be the content if you're more live in your content, less streamer? But the thing is that you complain about it, but you love it. You know, if you're really into it. Yeah. So, very clear. I gotta say, I love the little harmonic coming in, where it was all kind of like just a rap going forward. There's a mystic walk besides that. City Six Sakura. It's just like, oh my goodness, look at that. Out of nowhere, it just felt so good. Kind of wish to talk with you, bore me even off with your heads. And it's not, knowing Callie, it's not that I want to talk to you, and if you bore me, you're done. No, it's that, you know, I want to talk with you, try to inspire you. And to be fair, a lot of this is coming from later in the song. I'm cheating this time, but I'm not going to cheat for a lot of the other songs moving forward. Except for maybe Red and, no, Red more than Reflect. I'm not sure that much about its lyrics quite yet. But it's like, if your excuses or reasoning in your head, if your reasons sound like excuses to me, then forget it. I'm not even going to waste my time with you. You already start with fire. Like, forget about anything else. I'm not your sensei, but I've been saying since. Bam! Like, granted, a lot of this is more lead-in. Like, you'd be like, okay, that's fire, but okay, what sense have you been saying, Callie? Let's go. Past tense on reservations, now I stand in defense. Ah, that's actually a better line than I gave it credit for, I think, the first time I saw it. Because past tense on reservation. So I made a reservation to be here, and I made it. Now I stand in defense. That's not bad. This relentlessly intensifies not lasting suspense. In other words, I'm just going to tell it straight. I'm going to tell it to you like it is. Not even, it doesn't matter if it's, you know, mean or unclean or anything. I'm just going to tell it to you straight from the heart to your ears. Don't care how you take it. So far, okay, to be fair, I'm not your sensei, but I've been saying since. Okay, then she mentions that she made it to the top of the mountain. Okay. And now she's playing defensive because now other people want to attack her now that she's at the top. Okay. But so far you haven't, like, don't get me wrong. What this is this on top of her tweets. Her tweets have been very inspirational or attempting to be inspirational to other creators, etc., so on and so forth. But if I was to stick to only this song, where's the sense, Callie? Come on. Give it to me. It's coming. I know it is. But don't worry. And obviously she yelled, you know, again, more shots fired. I'll gladly live inside your head, but who the bloody my rent? You know what? I got to give Callie again more credit for this. Specifically, okay, you have all this rapping, and, you know, in rap that I'm familiar with, I'm not a big rap person, but Callie honestly sells for me entirely. in rap, you've got, you know, it's usually just that rhythm and etc. And it's not bad. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just not for me. But I think one of the things that Callie does that makes me like it so much is the fact that she puts harmonies in between. Rap usually will have those harmonies in either the refrain or in bridges, but never in the middle of a verse. And so what you gonna do about it, sucker? It feels so nice. Not to mention the tone shift we're gonna get in a second here. The first bit of a little bit of wisdom, and granted, it could be directed at anybody, because while the sayers say the same shit, the doers fight each other. So it's like all these people that says, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and and they never ever get there. I'm gonna take a break because this is not fun for me anymore, I say to myself. But I'll come back later. And I'll come back later. And I'll come back later. I've become a sayer. Even though I really want to come back. I want to entertain. I have a blast every single time I do this stuff. But it's just, it's never, ever that good for me. Let me turn down the volume here a bit. But now we're kind of back to it. Yeah, that switch up is really nice. You want to stay, wait, how's it go? Yeah. You want to stake your like on any of this, there's plenty of spite. Fight, steal your doors, trade the burn, training starts tonight. So if you want to put your stake in and say that, no, I'm not just a sayer, why are you calling me out like that, whether she's calling you out directly or not, which this song, no one's ever called out directly. So anybody who feels like they're being called out, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe you feel that way yourself and getting called out makes you feel real bad. Not to say that you can't improve. I mean, I felt called out. And I'm not even in her field. I'm not a VTuber. I'm not doing music like she does. The closest thing to her field I do is streams of video games. But that's about it. You want to know what? I don't care. I do not care. I felt called out. I will take it and be like, you know what? What's that meme? It's like, I've never felt so offended by something I 100% agree with. But it's one of those things that I feel like most of the people that felt called out and tried to shoot back without doing anything went with the I feel so offended and forget that the reason why they feel offended, considering that she's not calling anybody out in specific, there's no names here being said, it's just statements. There's no, you know, then you're the one who's calling yourself out by saying, oh, but this, that, and the other. All she's saying is generics. That's part of my issue too, but I've started to kind of just mellow out on it, and I'm getting some new people as it is. It's pretty fun to do. Welcome to the Those Fans Account and Stop. This is even important at the higher end of things, because why? Why are you counting fans? The number never matters. Your community matters. Who you are, for lack of a better word, playing to matters, right? Again, the same thing, you know, look, doesn't matter about the numbers, doesn't matter anything, throws my hand stating the obvious. Don't count the numbers, they're not important. Duh. But, and I love the fact that whenever I'm not sure if she ever does it on purpose or if she does some of this stuff on accident, but whenever she finds that little middle ground of messing up, that end was sloppy, give me action, sick, katana, slash, and slick, then she kind of, it's almost like when you're thinking about something, you trip over yourself for a second, and then you find your way back again. It's really interesting. And she does that a lot. And she tends to call attention to it a lot. Anyway, where's your passion, miss? I'm only asking. And of course she's saying miss because it's also... Following Callie, she tends to not only do these songs as, you know, hopefully inspiring others, but also as a self-slash to herself. So that's why she uses miss, even though Mr. here has taken offense in a good way, right? So actually, could you fit that? Just out of curiosity. Shinsik katana slash Shinsik for what you're patching, Mister. I'm only asking. Not quite, because Mister. I'm only asking because of the two Miss and Mister, two syllables. It doesn't quite work. But either way, I still will take it. God, it's so good. You know, this is where it really hit home for me. Like this early part, where the first parts are like, this is good. I'm having fun and I like it. But here's where it really started. I started feeling called out in a good way. And this is what I love about Callie. She calls you out in a good way. She never really tells you that, you know, you're trash. Like the worst thing she said there, your stance is, well, it's average. She doesn't say you can't improve. She doesn't say it's absolutely garbage and you should quit. She says your stance is, well, it's average. I'm savage because I care. Because she's been through this. Her stance is maybe average too, and you can call her out on it. But you have to call her out on something that's worthwhile. Not the arguments that we're going to get in the second verse. Can take it or leave it, rip and tear. You swear to make me believe it. Pride or skill, what's the deal? Those hands already weak. Dang, that one's real good too. So, pride or skill. So it really doesn't matter what got you on this bandwagon of VTubing, streaming, entertaining. Let's just say entertaining. It really doesn't matter what you're doing at this point, right? Because, like I said, I felt called out on it. A lot of pre-debut VTubers felt called out on it. It was just what you do with the being called out. What do you do with that? And I'm sorry to say, Callie, but it didn't get me over the finish line. But that's okay. You got me thinking about it again. And those hands are already weak. It's like, okay, your hands are already weak from all this training, but you're still not getting yourself out the door? Wait. This one I've always wanted to try and break down a second. Because bet this blood be melted iron, but I still be like water. You get some muddled up perspective, and then I believe it's till you senselessly slaughter, something like that. Not sure about that first one. I think it's probably just talking about, you know, being, but I still be like water, right? Adapt is what she's saying. She is literally quoting Bruce Lee. I be like water, my friends. The water gets put into a cup, it becomes a cup. It gets put into a bowl, it becomes the bowl. It's adaptive. She's quoting Bruce Lee, one of the best martial artists of all time. It's amazing. Amazing what Callie's able to pull out to shoot. Like, I'm not sure about that lead-in, and it could be just I don't have that perspective, but I get where she's going with it, but I still be like water. I'm adaptable. Now that I think about that second part, though, you'll get some muddied up perspective if you senselessly slaughter. In other words, I still be like water. I'm adaptable. I can move. I can do whatever. If this music doesn't take, I'll do this and that and the other and so on and so forth. But you who are trying to shoot at me on defense on the mountaintop, you get some muddy perspective, and if you just senselessly slaughter. In other words, if you just try to take down everything because you aren't putting things out, your perspective gets a little muddy on what actually is needing to be done. See, those with devotion to the mission straight devour the weak. In other words, look, if the mission is to entertain, I'm going to have the strength to push through. The weak don't matter to me. The people who just say things and say they're going to do this, that, and the other, they don't do anything. They're not going to bother me, because what does it matter to me who keeps doing things? Follow up. Okay, that's the one that I keep remembering now moving forward. next to obviously everything from Spark. You can't be strong if you give up from just a miss in your streak. So for all of us, and I'm going to say for all of us, right, who have a lot of difficulty with getting viewers on our content, whether it's the content of, you know, edited videos, whether it's content of, you know, what's it called? Of streaming, you know, and you feel like you're losing, fine. But you're never going to get stronger if you don't continue to evolve. If just be like water, my friends. Oh, I need to keep remembering that. On thy cheek? Man. I keep hearing it as the cheek. Like the as in the. Thy cheek. I wonder why she went with thy cheek. Just out of curiosity.
Send them away, Death Sensei. No ambition, try again next week.
I find it interesting. Considering the last time we heard Death Sensei in one of her songs, it was a heavily modified voice, which probably was hers still. But here is just her being very flat. No ambition, try me in next week. And that's it. That's the key. If you have ambition to do something great, you're going to do it. Have your ambition. Run with it. If you fail, so what? You try again. So long as it didn't absolutely destroy everything, like, oh, I said something that, you know, I shouldn't have, etc., and it went on there, and you just decide to stand by it, as stupid as whatever it may be, you know, anything that you do, you can recover from. It's the amount of ambition that you have. Content-wise, I'm going to be very clear. Content-wise, anything you put out, somebody might hate, somebody might love. It doesn't really matter. You will just always find a way, if you have ambition and just straight determination to keep... does she use determination later? I hope she does. Because determination is another thing that I kind of keep coming back to in my own stuff. To push through. Refrain. I hope you're ready to be swinging till the night falls. You will slave and entertain until the fun dies. I hope you're ready to be swinging till the sunrise. Again, very much reference that I felt caught. You're gonna throw in the towel and quit as soon as your body starts bleeding? Like, okay, you took a hit. And? To quote freaking Helsing Abridged, he hit you! What are you gonna do? Hit him harder! Yes. Follow up. You know what? Let's play this out because it's literally the next couple lines that kind of put that next thing. Oh God, that set of lines was beautiful, and like it calls me out so hard every single time. I feel like, oh, but I'm tired. Oh, but I got, you know, I'm, you know, if streaming and doing all this other stuff is another job, I'm working 2-3 jobs, right? Getting this stuff done, and I got to take care of, you know, what I got to take care of personally, and I don't want to. It's an excuse. You don't want to. Now, there's something to be said of actually taking a break and getting some stuff done, but you get some stuff done. You can if you push it. And if anybody can give you tough love, and I'm not saying Callie in particular, it's someone who has gotten to the point you want to be. And for those people who feel like Callie's not one to be giving them advice, or anybody who's actually successful, if they're willing to part with their knowledge or their assistance in one way, shape, or form, whether it's encouragement or else, you know, otherwise, you need to start thinking again, because there are some people out there that will hide their trade secrets, and they're like, no, this is for me. I'm up here. I'm going to keep myself up here. I'm going to be good. Take a hand when you need it, man. Even if it's just Callie saying, oh, good job with that video. You know, keep doing more. And just, what's it called? Just plain old encouragement. Girls get chopped up into the diamonds open shop. Cop the decent crop of follows, all those asking me how. See, and don't get me wrong, a lot of people will ask these successful people, how do you get there? Don't turn away the whatever they give you. Maybe it doesn't work for you, but maybe you could take what they've done and adjust it to work for you. Be like water, my friends. Again, go back to that earlier line. They spot the name, the fame, the shaming trace in their brows. Jesus. Yeah, no, because anybody who wants to shoot down somebody who's doing something, so long as it's absolutely legal, which in Callie's case, it absolutely is. You don't think that they've got a legal team to make sure that everything that she does is absolutely legal? There's a reason why she had a stream a long time ago for trying to play Persona 3. Don't shame on somebody who's been successful within the rules. Either you go out there and make the rules change if you feel like it's that unfair, which is going to take about as much effort as you trying yourself to work within your limitations and those rules. Do it. Think about that. You need to say Miss Company hire. Yes, okay. So she's got herself Hololive. Hololive has got the marketing division of whatever size. She's got her manager that does a lot of, some of the grunt work that maybe she either doesn't have time to do or, cannot do because she doesn't have the same connections that Hololive does. Plus the name recognition that comes from Hololive with all the other previous senpais of hers. Doesn't matter. How much work do you think she did to finish up an EP before she debuted? Oh, but she wasn't doing anything else before she debuted. Okay, fine. People who don't actually know how to write music. And I'm not saying that as a person who writes music at all. I love music. Music is my soul, but I cannot for the life of me write a bar. I could sing, I can play if you give me the sheet music, not the sheet music, tabs, because I do guitar on the side. I need to go back to practicing that. Anyway, but I know how much work gets put into music. I am very much aware of this. And this is why I give Callie all the credit for her lyric writing, because she is so good at that. Even if whether she does it purposefully or an accidental and tries to just find her way back to it in those scuffy moments that I mentioned earlier. And honestly, to sign your... She's the Grim Reaper, it's hard for me to say this, but to sign your soul away to a company just so you can get that advantage, that hurts. Would she prefer maybe to do that solo? Obviously probably not under Calliope Mori, but as some other either VTuber or as herself. Yes, of course. There ain't no person who signs up for Hololive that wishes they couldn't have done it on their own to not have to be stuck in a corporate bureaucracy of some kind or another. Of course not. But that doesn't mean they're not going to take advantage of it. Let's run with it to get wherever they want to go, because they can. Oh yeah, you're not all that good. You're just, because of Hololive, a million. What are you at, Callie? 1 point. I'm gonna round that up. I'm gonna round that shit up. 1.6 million. Okay, you got troll subs at at most in my brain space, 1K. Maybe 10K if I'm going to stretch it thin. But 1 million to 1.6 million? There's no way in heck that these people are subscribing just because, anime girl and Hololive. Some of them are following her because they like her. Think about this. Her senpai are still behind her. I feel bad for them in that respect, but they paved the way. They did most of the work. Yes, Callie's, if we're ignoring the company part of it, Callie's writing on at least the work that her senpai did in the past. Fine. But then she's taking that and trailblazing ahead. In my opinion. In my opinion, for sure. Callie's taking that flag that's been passed by her senpai that we're all under 1 million subs. And this goes for Gura too, by the way, who's already at 2 million. She blazed the way in front of Callie. Callie's just got a different kind of set of priorities. You know? And I just get so disappointed when my favorites from, you know, all of VTuberdom don't have the same kind of following. You know? I love Kiara, but Kiara is like dead last of Ien. Still way ahead of her senpai for the most part, with certain exceptions like Korone and Pekora and stuff like that, but I'm so disappointed in that. Because she needs a better following. She's really entertaining. But that doesn't mean that she's going to quit. Like, everyone in EN probably follows Callie's ideals of, I'm just going to push through this and I'm going to get this done. I mean, look, she, you know, as far as Kiara, she does Holo Talk. She pushed hard enough that she's the ambassador for the Tales of Arise. Gura basically can do almost whatever the hell she wants, right? Callie keeps putting out music despite, you know, it being on her own dime, as I've discovered. Holy moly, by the way. Ina and Watson are still entertaining as heck, and they're ahead of my girl Kiara, my Oshi. But what am I gonna do? Just support them. They're all amazing. And they keep pushing. It doesn't matter where they are and what advantages they got over somebody else. And I'm sorry for that huge tangent, but whatever. ADD time! Woo! Yeah, getting to that. It's like, okay, she's even pointing out. She's like, okay, let's take your argument at your word. Little Miss Company hire, fine. I sold my soul. She used the line, so that's my. Now I don't feel that bad about using it. I sold my soul to Hololive to get where I am. Fine, but that doesn't mean I get to coast. If I coasted, then fine. That's absolutely fine that you decide to try and roast me on, oh, Little Miss Company hire, you're at, you know, 500K plus subs because of the fact that, you know, you just got you have the Hololive branding. Okay. But now I'm at 1.6 mil. Considering that none of my senpais before me had hit that by the time I hit it. But let's even just do the 1 mil, right? Actually, I take it back. I think Korone might have hit it. I can't recall. But in any case, yeah. That means I've done work. I put the work in. So, I feel called out again, even though it's been a while. Until it is unbearable. And wear your scars with dignity. And wear your scars with dignity when wasting something shareable. Wasting. What am I, a wascally rabbit? Let's try that again. And wear your scars with dignity when raising something shareable. Doesn't matter how scuffed your content is. Put it out there. If someone likes it, they'll take it and they'll run with it. You know, and maybe you become an Oshi to somebody. Let's say. You're somebody's Oshi, and then most of Hololive was built on that. Someone got popular enough to then warrant more and more and more and more. It doesn't matter how scuffed the content is. I mean, hell, the one that made me aware of Hololive, the first person I saw in Hololive was Subaru, but I thought that she was independent at the time, much like Hizuna Ai. That was kind of my gateway-ish. Going that way. So I wasn't aware of that. But the first time I was aware of a VTuber that was specifically Hololive was Korone. And a lot of her content is the definition of scuff. But she's entertaining as F. All get out. Just amazingly entertaining. She does not care about how bad or good her content looks. She just wants it to be fun. And yes, she works for Hololive, which means that she's got a little bit of a back, but that doesn't mean anything. She's the first Japanese Hololiver to 1 million. Come on. And she's got the scuffest looking content on occasion. Just go look at her Star Wars Luke Skywalker. Boom. Literally took a little drawing of a finger. No, not a finger. Not even. It was just freaking paint. A painted rectangle. And then another painted rectangle. And then she cracked up because she thought it was funny. And she wasn't drunk at the time. A lot of people thought it was funny too. It's scuff as all get out as far as the look. But it's entertaining as all get out. So, doesn't matter. Wear your scars with dignity when you raise something shareable. And then we're going to the end. The beat's swinging now. Grab the scythe and show them how. Welcome to the mountaintop. Wait until the night calls. I'll be ready. You'll be swinging till the night falls. And you'll be slave and entertainer till the fun dies. I hope you're ready to be swinging till the sunrise. The baby wavers. Stains the brain with flavor. The kind of pain you can churn out and learn to savor. As like walk the size that sadistic Sakura. Then you should talk with you. Bore me and it's off with your heads. Absolutely brilliant. And I feel all the called out for that kind of thing. I am so called out across the board for all that stuff. And I don't care that she's calling me out on that. Why? Because number one, she's not calling me out by name, which at least saves me some face, right? If there's one thing that I've learned is that you give a person an out when they've messed up, quotation marks, right? Oh, I needed this by this time, and you don't have it. That's a problem. So, what are we going to do about it? Let's try and fix it. Do you need help? Etc. You extend an arm. Callie does this consistently across Twitter if you ask her a question, etc. It is absolutely brilliant. And I love every single moment of her on screen, and I look forward to actually taking on more of her content to see what else I can dig up. Especially since I think the other things that I need to take a look at are Red and then another one that's going to come out soon, the Grim Reaper's live streamer. And both of them have had a lyric breakdown. I'd like to see what I feel against what Callie was thinking when she was making that stuff. I'll have to take some notes on her lyric breakdown stream again. But either way, thank you guys for watching. You've been 10 out of 10 with me. Come check me out live on Twitch. If not, leave a like, subscribe. Make sure you leave comments in the doobly-doo down there. Not in the doobly-doo. That's where I put stuff. You put comments down in the comment section below the doobly. And then we will have a chat. If you had a different reaction to this, if you had a lot of other thoughts or any thoughts that I didn't have, please let me know. I'm always willing to listen to new points of view on certain things, and I love learning new things. So I will see you guys next time for probably Callie's Red. See you then.